Nico,
It's good, man.
what's up, my brother? Welcome to the DreamState Living podcast, man. How we doing?
Thank you, man. I'm so happy to be here. Happy to have you here in Bolivia. I've seen what you've been doing this last couple of years. I mean, I met you 5 years ago, and
Yeah,
time really flies, man. Loving what you're doing. Love you as a friend. Consider your family and whatever, and just your personality. And been looking at all this marathon, um, how much you've been focusing on your health, and dude, you actually an example for that. So
I
happy
appreciate
to.
that.
It's an honor to be on the podcast.
Oh, man,
Cool, man.
welcome. So,
Appreciate it.
one thing I've been here and I've really been experiencing like Bolivia like a king. And there's this philosophy, and you really live it out. And there's this philosophy that I've been talking about for a while, and it's the idea of living like a king. Um, you spent some time in the U.S. and now you live here. Can you kind of like, what does that mean to you? The idea of living like a king, and how would you say you do that here? Because you really are a living example of like living like a king.
Appreciate you saying that. Well, first of all, I think that when people hear the saying "living like a king," they go straight to um, something material, which sometimes can be the case. Um, for me, and one of the main reasons I came to Bolivia, and one of the things I'm always thinking about is how can I be better in terms of my health, better in terms of my relationship with God, relationship with family and friends. My second priority is what can I do to make a huge impact, a positive impact, and how can I help people? Actually, my my third point it's business. So when you say living like a king, the first thing I think is the ability and the opportunity to give back to the community. Um, my family has been well off. My dad had a great business. My mom, as you know, has this foundation that helps unprivileged kids. And when we have a conversation as a family, we always say that the reason why my dad and myself, thank to God, been doing good in business is because how much my mom has given back to the community.
Wow.
Um, I truly believe that you receive twice as much of what you give. That's why my main focus is always first work on myself constantly because that's the main point. I have to be at my best, and the second point is to be able to give back to other people. It's nice to have a nice place. It's nice to have a nice car. To be able to travel, it's a nice luxury that a lot of some of us can have. But I'm telling you, where I feel most like a king is where when I'm able to, help somebody,
Yeah.
help these kids, give them a house, education, food, be an example to them. That's where I'm thinking. I'm I'm lucky enough to put myself in that position because uh, believe it or not, that's where I feel the most full. And not a lot of people can have that feeling.
Yeah.
A lot of people can have a nice car. A lot of people can have an amazing house, can have 5 houses, but not a lot of people can have that full heart when they give something back and they make someone smile, make the day of somebody better. So that's what I think when I feel like living like a king.
And you really broke down, I mean, what a beautiful answer as well, and like just a chivalric answer, because I think a lot of people, when you're listening, it's like you're expecting like, oh, I have all of these things, a chauffeur, a
Right.
maid, and this, which you do, but that example of no, living like a king is being able to serve. And, the great Tony Robbins says the secret to living is giving. And
Right.
you're really like a true example of that. So you break it down kind of like you want to make sure your life pillars are in order. So your health, your relationship with God, your family, your friends, keeping all that, because those are all super important pillars. And then, of course, your business as well. And once you have all of those in line, then you're able to serve these communities at a higher level. Is that kind of like what I'm understanding?
Yeah, 100%. And actually, I would like change the order. I put my business in the third position, and I'll tell you why. My second point, or my second column or priority, is giving back and always be clear on where I'm going to make a big impact and who am I going to be helping. So for me, as you know, I have a solar energy company. We met in the business. So for me, when I was thinking that, it's like, okay, I'm going back to Bolivia. I want to be with my family, be there for them, and I want to make an impact in my country. So my first thought is, okay, I have this experience with solar. Let's do that. So my impact is I'm helping my country become more green. I'm helping educate people on different crises that the world is facing, and then that that shows in my business. So if my business has a purpose to make an impact, I'm already covering two bases at the same time. And when those collide, I'm able to have the means to help people.
It's nice when there's harmony within the things that we're doing.
Exactly.
And that was kind of your intention in the beginning is, solar's great. Like there's a lot of money in it as well, but is it going to align with my goals? And, one thing you made is one thing you said, excuse me, is how can I serve my country? And I wanted to stay on that point because being with you this past 10 days or so, you're very abundant.
Appreciate
Like
it.
and this is something that we can all learn from and be more of in our lives. So I kind of want to stay on this for a second, but like I don't even know if you know this about yourself. Maybe you do, but like your thoughts, your actions, your intentions are with abundance behind them. And I'll give you like an example of that. It's like going out to eat or something. No problem. Got it. Enjoy. You're like you're here. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's like one example, but it translates into many other areas. Like you're just abundant with the blessings you have, and you want to share this with other people. Where did you learn that?
Definitely from my dad and my mom. I mean, I'm gonna be telling this. Throughout the podcast, the biggest blessing I had were my parents, and the fact that I was raised under, with the foundation, the family foundation.
Your mom started this when she was 18, just for the listeners as well. So this has been a part of your whole life.
Yeah, I was born in the foundation where they have like 10 years.
Wow.
So I grew up seeing the other side of the world. I didn't grow up just looking at, I have this house. I go to this school. I have the. I knew all the opportunities and how blessed I was in that area, but I will also go to the foundation and meet these kids. For different reasons, they run from their families, from their houses, end up on the streets. I play soccer with them, play basketball with them since I'm like 3 years old. Share with them, spend Christmas with them. So I was without knowing it, I was constantly learning about humility, being humble.
Really good virtue.
Yeah, so that helped me a lot to understand that you don't need a lot to be happy, and you don't need to be chasing materialistic stuff. You don't need to be chasing money. You need to be chasing your goals. You need to be chasing relationship with God. You need to be chasing better relationship with friends, with family, health. Those are the things that matter. I think back and I see even till now, I go to the foundation and you have these kids that they never met their parents, or their parents abused them, or their parents were alcoholics. They lived on the streets for 5 years. They didn't know where the next meal was going to come from, and you give them a soccer ball and play some soccer, and they're totally happy. It's like they're having the best time of their life. You give them the hug. They give the best hugs. They have the biggest smiles. They are the ones that appreciate the little things. So they really makes you think about where you stand. And growing up, looking at that, I realized from a young age, I don't need almost anything to be happy.
Wow. For that to be kind of raised upon is just such a beautiful gift, if
Yeah.
you will. And maybe some people might not see that as a gift when they're growing up. Maybe you did, but to have that, and it's kind of a lesson I learned when I was 22, when I first left the U.S. and I went to Thailand. And I tell this story a lot, but there was this, to break down all of the people I met, I usually break it down to this one woman, and she was cooking pad thai on the beach.
Okay.
She had her kids with her, beautiful
Right.
sunset, happiest woman I've ever met.
Yeah.
She was making probably $500, $1,000 a year.
Wow.
Happiest woman I've ever met. And throughout my experiences traveling, and it's why I love coming to countries, different countries, to have different perspectives. Because sometimes you need that to have more gratitude for your life. Because, maybe on the contrary, if you grew up and you didn't have that foundation, you had this big house, you had maids, you had all these people taking care of things for you.
I'll be a douchebag, bro.
You'd
100%.
be a big douchebag, yeah.
100%.
Probably wouldn't be here today, right?
Probably won't be.
And you'd have a different perspective on life. Yeah. You wouldn't break down these pillars. So I think what we can take from this is really, and maybe you didn't grow up with a foundation like Nico, but you can learn the lessons from it, and you can go and you can serve and you can tithe, and you can put yourself around maybe people that don't have as much fortune as you. I think what I see a lot, though, and I'm curious what you'd say on this, is people, and a lot of this is in the U.S., and a lot of my listeners are in the U.S., just how it is. We're getting more throughout the world. But a lot of people are like, I'm only making $80,000 a year.
That's a lot for you. That's a lot for probably. I'm not telling you that you should have a cap on your goals. I mean, go after it. Do make as much as you want, make as much as you can, as you plan. But be grateful. I mean, I always think that you need to have your priorities straight.
Have your what?
Priorities.
Priorities.
Yeah. So, and money cannot be one of them. It just can't. For the reason that, I mean, I'm a very religious person, as you know, my family too, and money can become a god for you. When that happens, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a miserable life.
Yeah, we see. It's so good that you point that out, because a lot of times what I've talked about in the dream state, as you'll see more and more now, is what is your center.
Right.
And Nico literally just put it in the perfect way: is money becomes your god. And what needs to be your center or your God is your values and your principles.
Right.
And you broke it down earlier. You literally started this with your values and principles. What is most important to you? And that is so important when we want to create a life. Because back to what we were saying, like the person that's listening to this, and maybe 80 was a stretch. Maybe they're only making $40,000 to $50,000 to $60,000 a year, and they feel like they don't have enough and they're struggling. So I can't help. I can't serve. I guarantee there's someone out there that has it harder than you.
Yeah.
You just don't see it. You don't have the perspective.
Yeah. It's amazing that you say that. I think it's always good to see people that have made it or are above us in terms of financially, but people only look up, and it's important to look up to see where you want to be a couple of years, what you need to do to get there. But it's also important to see who has it harder than you. It has to be a balance. It has to be a balance of where I'm going, what's it going to take, and where I'm at, and how grateful I am for where I am. There's always someone. I mean, there's a saying in boxing: there's always going to be the guy that's going to kick your ass, no matter how good you are. So there's always going to be someone above you. I mean, always.
No matter where you're at.
I mean, even if you think, just this crazy example, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they've been, moving up and down. At some point, there's always someone up above them.
Yeah.
So,
and maybe someone that's not in the public eye that only they know about.
Exactly. Imagine that.
That's kicking their ass.
Exactly. So, it's important to know where you're going. It's important to have your goals. But I will say it's more important to be grateful of what you have right now. Because if you're not grateful of where you are and who you are and what you got, I'm telling you, let's say you make $20K a year. When you make 100, you won't be happy.
Yeah. If you can't find gratitude within the 20,
Exactly.
you sure as shit won't be happy with 100.
Yeah, because then let's say you're gonna upgrade your apartment, you're gonna upgrade your car. So let's,
Same.
and then you're gonna see the guy that has 5 million
Yeah.
and has, I don't know, a fucking Bugatti, and you're gonna be like, damn, why am I not there? So you gotta be grateful with less in order to be happy with a lot.
There's this idea of the twin thieves, and one of the thieves, and the thieves are the things that steal your happiness. One thief is the thief of comparison, so constantly comparing, and the other thief is the thief of failure. Do you kind of have you used? Do you understand those, and do you kind of like? I don't know what I'm trying to ask actually with that, but do you recognize those thieves? And if so, how do you kind of put like if you're thinking a quarterback and football americano or a blocker, like how do you
Right.
block those twin thieves in your life?
Yeah, constantly. I mean, comparing yourself is just natural.
Yeah.
And especially, I would say, especially in sports and business, which is funny. In my opinion, if you're comparing with somebody, you should be comparing how good of a person I am.
Yeah.
But let's just go back to what's more normal, which happens to me too. Compare myself in business to my competition, to someone that started earlier, started later than me, someone that's catching up, someone that is going behind. And for that, I think about it, and I let myself think about it, because it's also good to don't stop it right away. Try to analyze it and understand why am I having those thoughts. What kind of insecurity is going through myself at that point? Because it's always someone within you, 100%. Every single time I've compared with myself is because I wasn't paying my dues. I wasn't doing the work. I wasn't doing the right things. So I thought like I wasn't in the right place. And I started looking who's next to me. Sometimes to feel better. And when I found somebody that is worse than me, felt better for a little bit. When I found somebody that's doing better than me, felt super bad. But it was good for me to internalize that, because in my case, that always happens when I'm not in the right place. So that helps me think. And
When you say you're not, and excuse me, when you say you're not in the right place, maybe you're not like staying true to those values that we talked
Exactly.
about. Yeah, I can really relate to that.
Exactly. I mean, the first thing I've compared myself is, damn, let's say I've installed, I don't know, 100 kilowatt system, and then feel a little insecure about it, feel a little insecure of where the path of the company is going. Look at my competition, they installed 150. I was like, dude, that's fine. It's okay. There's not a clock on this.
Yeah.
This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And what people need to understand is there's enough opportunities in the world for everybody.
Yeah. Huge. And this goes back to your abundance mindset.
Exactly. I mean, why am I comparing with somebody that's doing good? I should be happy for them.
Yeah, because there's opportunity.
Exactly. Let's say I'm doing one install, they're doing 3. That's fine. I mean, the world doesn't end there. There's like 100 more clients that I can get. There's probably 100 for them.
Why do you think that holds people back from moving forward, though?
Because they get stuck there, and they get jealous, and they don't internalize that. They don't understand, or probably they don't want to actually believe that there's enough opportunity for everybody. And because the human being is naturally selfish.
Yeah, it's almost like a survival mechanism as well.
Yeah, I mean, and it's normal you want to be number one, you want to be the best, but you can be the best and also have other people be really good. And there's a flaw in the humankind, in the human. Most people want to be the best and don't want anybody to be near them.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be number one and I want to destroy you. There's no place for you next to me, which is super sad.
Yeah.
because we're all in this world to share it, to love each other, to care for each other, and there's literally enough money, enough opportunity, enough everything for everyone to be all right.
Yeah. And there is a dark sadness to that. And this is such a good point. There's a dark sadness to that where a lot of leaders of societies, they're known to have the dark triad personality traits, which are narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism.
Yeah.
And we see these people running countries and we kind of like, okay, this is how this person acts. And even high-level CEOs, like they're very cutthroat and they have these personality traits. This is what I need to do to be successful.
Yeah.
But then you have like the country of India where everyone's just abundant and they want to help each other all grow, and they're just really, really beautiful people. I heard this Hermosi quote the other day that kind of aligns with what you're saying, and is entrepreneurship is not a who gets to the top the quickest. It's who lasts the longest.
Yeah. 100%.
And kind of what you're saying is really, really on par with that. And I want you to drop the humble hat a little bit.
All right.
So with that being said, you've become very successful. You're on a list of the top 40 CEOs in Bolivia for your company. And how long have you had Solar?
So we started in 2020. We actually I actually founded the company in the middle of the pandemic. If I remember right, yeah, it was in October, and we had our first install. It was a 27 kilowatt system on December. From there, 2021, 2022, little tough, but starting 2023 until now, we've had a huge growth. We've installed more than, 2023 we installed almost 1 megawatt. 2024 and 2025. 2024.
Just for our listeners who aren't in the solar, 1 megawatt on par with how many jobs would that be? Just to give them an example.
Well, I'm in commercial and industrial.
Yeah, so
right?
it's bigger systems.
Bigger systems. So I'll say it's about 30, 35.
30, 35. So
if you do this in residential in the US, you'll be talking about, I don't know, 200.
Yeah, 200 plus.
Yeah.
So 30 to 35 commercial jobs. That's for those who are listening, that's a lot. And 1 megawatt of solar is a lot of solar. Yeah. So that's really, really impressive. And especially in a market where you're, 4 years, 5 years in business, isn't that much?
It's a baby.
It's a baby, but you broke through that breaking point of the first 2 years that I'm sure were very challenging. Yeah. And I'm sure now it's still very challenging, but you kind of broke through that. And you're definitely going to have more problems. It's business. It is what it is. Yeah, problems are not even problems. There's opportunities to be a better company, right?
Always.
So when you look back in the beginning of that journey, what were some of your biggest challenges? And what would you say you learned from those?
I'll say the biggest challenge, and this happens until now, is it's find the right team.
Yeah, huge. I know we talked about this a lot off camera.
Yeah, and I'm pretty open about this. Throughout the years, I've always been the majority owner of the company. Always had 90 or something like that. But I've actually went through 2 partners in these 5 years. And I've went to from a huge team to firing basically almost everybody. Going back and forth with different marketing directors, different technicians, and all that. And it's tough. It's tough because you need to maintain the essence of the company, and going back to, it's not only money.
Yeah.
You need to have the essence of the company, your vision. Like, I made this, so I'm not letting anybody corrupt it. And sometimes, you have a team that's doing really good, but they're not the right people. So you gotta make a tough decision, cut them off, get some short-term losses, but you always see the gain in the long term. I'm telling you, this. Until now, I haven't found the right full team. I have. Well, you met Bana. There's like 2 more guys, 3 more guys. So we're like 4 guys that are building the foundation of the company. But right now, everybody asks me, "Hey, are you hiring? Hey, is there there's a job open. I know that you fired 15 guys, and I always tell them that no. I mean, now my bigger lesson for everybody right here that's listening is take your time.
Mm.
You know, some people want to grow super fast, and this is especially in the U.S. You know, people take a lot of pride on, hey, we're the fastest growing company. I mean, we know that was like one of the points on our pitch when we were back in Cali, and I don't want to be the fastest growing company. I want to be the one that my grandkids are proud of.
Yeah.
I want to be a 200-year-old company. I don't want to be the company that grew up 1,500% in 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, why does that matter? Am I here to just make a buck and get out? Dude, if I'm here for that, I'd rather be doing stocks in Wall Street, you know. But I'm not here for that. So taking more time, and it's surprising. I don't know if it's in everybody's case, but it's worth analyzing. Sometimes you build a team just for you to feel better, to feel like, damn, I'm actually making it. I have a team, you know, and I don't need to do all this work that I used to do. Feel more accomplished, and that's not the right reason to have a team.
Mm. This is really refreshing to hear, and I think a lot of listeners are going to really appreciate this, because it's a little bit. You're very successful, and this is a little bit of not what you're probably hearing from a lot of these people who are the fastest growing company in the U.S., the fastest growing company in Bolivia. And what I've seen with a lot of these fastest growing companies, they do implode.
Always.
It happens. And that's a true test of character at that point. But when you're slowly building it up and you have a more abundant long-term vision, I believe you're going to have the right type of people on your team that are going to see that vision as well. And they're going to feel confident, like almost like, okay, if I go all in with Nico, if I go all in on this vision, I'm going to be set for life, because this isn't going to be a 5-year thing.
Exactly.
He's not here to just make a bunch of money and then go live in the Swiss Alps and ski and play golf for the rest of the year. That's impressive. And going back to the hard decision of kind of cutting a team, and I want us to think of this, and for the listeners as well, don't just think of this in business for Nico's answer here. Think of this with relationships as well. Sometimes it gets to a point where intuitionally, do you feel that way?
Yeah, totally.
Intuitionally, you're just like, you know what? You're making money. Or whether you're in a friendship or a relationship, a sexual relationship, a romantic relationship, you're making me happy sometimes, but I just deep down know it's not it. So how did you, because it takes courage, man. It takes courage, it takes balls to sit down and have these conversations. And I'm sure you're a very friendly guy. I'm sure you had relationships with these people.
Yeah.
Like you probably called them friends, maybe still do. So how did you address that? How did you know it was time to do it? And did you wait a while?
I did wait a little bit longer than I will, looking back, that I would like to. But I think I did it at the right time. I mean, it's always hard to do it exactly when you have to, but I did it soon enough. The decision came. I mean, I'm also pretty practical, you know, and this is why my first column, my first principle is to be working on myself, on my health, relationship with my family, with God. If I feel good with myself, I don't need the approval of anybody else. So if you're working for my company and I sit down with you and I explain to you objectively why I am letting you go, and you get mad, honestly, I don't care. Because the same way I'm waking, having a routine, I'm going to the gym, I'm playing golf, I'm working on myself. Having my company at the right place is also working on myself, because it's my company.
Yeah.
If my company is sick, 100% I'm not going to sleep good. So that's above everything else. If you don't want to be my friend after that, outside the business, outside the company, you do you. People, it's hard to find somebody that's close to you, or even anybody, because you're like, oh, they're not gonna like me after this. They're gonna say these things. They're gonna think this about me. So that's why it's so important to build yourself, be in the right place. I mean, let's say I fired 10 people and all 10 hate me, they don't talk to me. Honestly, the chances of them seeing me are low, even if I see them every day. I have friends like you, like a lot of, I mean, a couple other friends that are really close to me, I can rely on. Even sometimes I can be vulnerable with my friends and say, man, I fired 10 guys. Dude, they're probably talking shit about me, probably 10 lies. They probably don't like me. But I have people that are gonna be there for me.
Yeah.
And I'm good with myself because I know I'm doing the right decision for myself in the future.
Which is really the most important part. And I want to dissect that because that is extremely important. And it really goes back to a lot of values that we talked about. And when you have such a strong relationship with thyself and you have these feelings, you know that you have everything within you. You already have everything. So if you know that this is making the business sick, in your words that you said, or it's making you sick by having this relationship, it should be a no-brainer to let go of that.
Yeah.
And I really want to stay on this for a sec because a lot of people, which I see, and this was me in the past, where I maybe didn't have the best relationship with thyself. So I'd hold on to relationships. I'd hold on to being in a business because it gave me a sense of fulfillment.
Yeah. You build a dependency to that.
It's like a codependency.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a trait in my brother's is really, really intelligent, and he is just got his doctorate in psychology.
Oh, say congrats to him, man.
I will.
Dude, that's amazing.
Hopefully he's listening. But and when I was in a relationship a while ago, he's like, "You're acting codependent," and it's hard to hear that. It takes a high level of maturity to admit you're wrong and to take advice when you think you're right as well.
Yeah, every time.
And it's sometimes you just might need someone like that in your life to call you out. And I do this with people all the time. People in my mastermind, I'm like, listen, man, this is not going to be easy to hear, but you got to strengthen the relationship with yourself because you're holding on to something that is not good for you.
Yeah.
And the reason you're holding on to it is because it's giving you a sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
So I just I wanted to stay on that and kind of explain it in more detail because you're just a prime example of you have this good relationship with thyself. You understand your values, which we talked about before. You understand the goals of your company. So when the wrong people are there, which were making you money, right?
Yeah, a lot.
They were doing good.
Yeah.
But they just didn't align.
No, they didn't. And again, it was a tough choice. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, hey, it was super easy. I just fired them and everything was rainbows. And no, it wasn't. It was a tough one because, I mean, how much experience do we have? You know, in business, we're super young.
Yeah.
Vaynerchuk always says, dude, 35 is young. We're even younger than that.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to learn still. But when I made that choice, I was always putting I thought of my company as my body,
As your body?
as my own body. Yeah.
Yeah, your physical body.
Exactly. And I came to the realization. I was like, okay, I need to put a stop to this. I mean, there was this period where it was nurturing the company, but then it was also making it sick. So what's gonna last? And that's why and that's why I have my values super, dude. I have them read on my phone. I read them almost every night. I was like, okay, they can make a lot of money. Let's say 2-3 years from now. But then I thought, what are the chances of them, dude, doing something shady, putting myself in jeopardy, putting the company in jeopardy? Because they have the actual power to speak in for the company as employers.
And you found out after that there was something along those
Yeah.
lines, right?
Yeah, I'll get to that, which is super funny. not funny, but it's funny that it happened. So I was like, again, I want to be here in business for the next 100 years. I want my kids, my grandkids, to keep running this company. I want to build a legacy. So if I want to live until 90, and I'm sick, and I'm not doing anything to get better, what are my chances to get to 100? Probably not very good. So that's why I fired them. Need to get the body right, to the company right. And dude, it was crazy. The people that stay started working harder. I was able to give them more incentives since I fired a lot of people. Of course, there was like a short-term period where I had to pay a lot to them for when you fire people. I forgot the name of
Severance.
severance. But after that, the work that everybody was putting, it was insane. The relationships, the just the harmony that the company had. It was everybody was aligned with the vision. Everybody was giving their 110%. We actually got back the money that we spent in severance in 6 months, going from a 30 people team to a 4.
Wow.
So
And you're doing better.
now it's even better.
Wow.
So that's the power. There's this saying that I forgot who says it, but you only need 3 or 4 guys to run the world.
Yeah. 3. It's funny. There's something Joey Diaz, a comedian's like, give me 3 motherfuckers, 3 bad motherfuckers. I'll take over this bitch.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen it in like right in front of me. 3 guys and myself, just putting the work, enjoying each other's company. Dude, you're spending all day with these people.
Yeah. You don't want people bringing you low because then you're going to show up to a customer
Yeah, exactly.
and you're going to be low vibration. You're going to have the negativity from Joe Schmo over here.
And then the company itself gets into bad habits. When I have a big team, dude, the company, not myself, because I something that I respect a lot is I'm the boss, so I need to differentiate myself. But everybody else, dude, they were after office drinking almost Wednesday to Friday, drinking on Saturdays. Everybody was going to these bad habits that I was like, that's not who we are.
Yeah, that's not the culture.
And especially that's not who I am.
Yeah.
So how can I have a company that I built, that I founded, with the values that I don't even believe in? And that's what we're making money, but everybody's stressed. No, they're not happy. They're not even happy with the money they're making, and they're going through these bad habits. They going off routine. Dude, one of the reasons I built a company is not only to give jobs, is to be able to help people have a routine, to be able to show people that you can be better each day, not only work-wise, but health-wise, in terms of how you treat people, etc. That's why I always try to give the example to, say hi to everybody, be nice to everybody, be polite, so they can also see that, that doesn't matter where you are, if you're the boss or you're the lowest position, it takes nothing to be good.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys were getting cocky. A lot of these guys were making a lot of money, so got in their head, and they will go, "Hey, yeah, I work at Ed Solar. Who the fuck are you?" It's like, dude, yeah, that guy shouldn't be working with me. And fired all of them. And after I fired them, 2 of the top guys, I hired like a consultant for a little bit to help me out. They ran a scan on all their works, and there were like 25 mistakes each on installs, on projects, on deadlines. Some clients that were sending them emails about how bad their service was, and actually one of them changed provider without telling me. Like they never tell me about all these problems. So you see all these guys closing deals or making this, and then when the problems happen, they will just hide it. Be like, "Hey, it's not my company. I don't care. I'm just getting the paycheck."
Yeah, I'm still getting paid.
Yeah, I'm getting paid for my install. I'm getting paid for what I'm doing, dude. I don't care if that lady from I don't know 26th Avenue is hating me because I did the install wrong, or the price was higher because I wanted a higher commission. I got paid. Nobody's gonna look at my computer. See, and dude, it was a tough. It was a tough time for me. I had to call everybody, and in that situation, I cannot be calling them and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I fired the guy who was doing a bad job." I can't.
Yeah, you got to take ownership.
I have to be, I'm sorry, we're trying to get better. Thank you for your feedback. Appreciate it. Let me have a meeting in person with you. I want you to meet me, which also helped me grow as a business owner. It was a rough 2-3 months, especially, it was pretty rough on me because I was taking shit from a lot of people, a lot of clients. Some of the reputation of the company wasn't where I wanted to be, and it wasn't my fault, which was the most frustrating part.
Yeah.
But I understood that it was my decision to hire them. So secondarily, it was kind of, I would say, my fault.
If you really break it down,
Yeah,
it was your
it is,
fault. Yeah.
100%. But see, it's frustrating, and that's where you need to internalize and take a deep breath, because your first reaction is like, "Fuck those guys! They fucking ruined me. I hate them."
Yeah.
You know?
And it's easy to show up and be like, "Hey, it was this guy's fault.
Yeah.
I fired him."
I fired him, so now it's gonna be everything good. Probably a lot of people do that. Dude, it's not the right thing.
Yeah.
Because you're doing exactly what they did.
Yeah.
You're making them look bad to get the problem solved. And you're not growing at all. You're becoming just like them. By taking ownership, you're learning, dude, the situations. Next time that something goes wrong, dude, I'm not gonna even flinch. I know exactly what to do, exactly what to say, exactly how to react. Dude, that just made me a better person.
Yeah, you needed those reps.
Yeah.
Wow. When I was building teams in solar, I in the beginning thought the same thing. Like the bigger the team, the better.
Yeah.
And it really started to affect me at a high level because I'd have 20 people under me, and my phone would always be going off. And it's like usually the bottom, like 50% is the one that calls the most,
Yeah.
asking the same questions. They feel like they're working just because they're calling you.
Right. Yeah,
And
we
it's
talked
just
about
like,
that. Yeah.
yeah, they just want to get on a phone or, hey, can we have a Zoom call today to talk about this? Because it makes them feel good like they're working. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm busy, right? I'm busy. So I feel good. I'm a business owner. I'm busy. I got all these people working with me. And it took me some maturity and realizing it's like, back to what you said, give me 5 bad motherfuckers that know what their job is, that don't need a handheld, and we'll take over the world. And we'll
100%.
be way more effective than a team of 30 freaking, excuse my language, tards.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's just sometimes we need that awareness, because a team of 30 looks good on paper, looks good on social media, right? When you're doing your huddles. But
It's good when you tell people.
yeah. Oh, how big's your company? Oh, I got 30 employees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how impressive! You're doing good. I mean, let's look at the financials.
Yeah.
And even that, let's look at your culture.
Most importantly,
100%. Yeah.
let's look at the culture.
Exactly.
So I want to pivot a little bit, and a lot of listeners are curious because I've been living in South America, and I spent 3 months in Medellin, a little bit in Argentina, and now I'm here in Bolivia, and I really love Bolivia, and it really aligns with like the go where you're treated best model
Yeah.
that I'm trying to live by right now. I am living by it, and it's Bolivia is a really beautiful and I think underrated place. When you meet a lot of expats and people that it's usually Medellin. Medellin's a big one.
Yeah,
Medellin,
for sure.
Colombia, beautiful place. Even Buenos Aires, a lot of expats live there. But La Paz is really like, even when I'm walking around the streets, not seeing too many gringos.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of foreigners.
And I guess my question is, you grew up here, and for people that are looking to maybe do what I'm doing, like travel, work remotely, live in a place and location where their dollar is really going the best, like what could you say about Bolivia, and why would you recommend it?
Man, again, I love Bolivia. There's a reason why I came back from the U.S. I mean, I had a job in LA with you, with the company over there. I could have stayed. It could have been actually the easier choice. But my heart has always belonged to Bolivia. And the reason why is, dude, people here, just life is just different. People are super friendly. You go on the streets and nobody's in an actual rush. People are always gonna be polite with you. There's good values. It's very family oriented. I mean, you've seen it. We have like lunch with my family every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays.
Beautifully family oriented. It's amazing to see.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. I'm very proud of it. My family. Then we always sharing. We put family first, which is the most important thing for me, which is something that I believe has been lost in the U.S.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, first thing, I will die if I only see my family for Thanksgiving, and we're living in the same country. Dude, I'll feel so sad.
Yeah.
Because, dude, who are the people who gonna bury you? Like when everything goes to shit, you're gonna have one friend in your family, so you might as well put some time and share with them. So that culture, that's the main reason why I recommend Bolivia. You're gonna experience different kind of love. You're gonna be able to fulfill some of those holes that you're trying to fulfill with the wrong things. When you come to a place where you'll be able to feel the love of, that's got to be your family, man. I mean, we're like here. I hope you feel the love of my family. Dude, anybody that comes here, you're gonna feel.
That's what I've been telling everyone back home. It's like, man, I feel like I told your mom this too. I feel like I'm just part of the family.
Oh, you are, man, 100%.
That's your mom said too. She's like, you are.
So yeah, so that's the main thing. And then when you feel that love, man, you that helps you realize also, okay, dude, I need a couple bucks to be here.
Yeah.
Then you go out, and I mean, right now if you have US dollars, dude, you're well off with, dude, what's your rent for like one bedroom, like 300?
Yeah, something like that, like 350 for a month.
And then let's say you spend like a king, and you go to eat at the best restaurants three times a week, dude, you're spending $15 a night for like the best restaurants with like entree, main dish, desserts. It's not more like that. So financially, it's a great place to be in. You don't need a lot of money. The culture, I love it. It's a good place to kind of settle down a little bit, realign your values, because here you're gonna see some luxury, but you're not gonna see a Lambo.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see a Ferrari. You're not gonna see 15 guy with Rolexes. So kind of helps you get down to earth. Helps have a surrounding where you don't need to follow anything materialistic. You only need to try to find yourself.
Yeah, which really goes back to the values, and I really like how you started off with family as well. It's one thing that I am really looking to like create and focus on. I was fortunate. I have a beautiful family as well.
Can't wait to meet them, man.
Yeah, Thanksgiving in the U.S. It's going to be amazing. I have a really beautiful family, but one thing I've noticed and seen in the U.S. and even with my family a little bit is the traditional values are kind of going out the window in the U.S. And I had the luxury of living with a guy from Mexico when I was 21.
Yeah.
And Carlos and his family invited me to Christmas because I couldn't afford going home to see my family at this time. I was living in Los Angeles, and they invited me to Christmas in Vegas with them. And they were just like your family. They treated me just like I was a part of the family, made sure I was good. And it was just like, wow, this is really good. And then I started getting into dating in the U.S. And, I know other people have different experiences. I know a lot of girls who are really, really amazing. But I just couldn't get down with the values that I was seeing. And I was like, I had a couple of dreams about a good old Latina, a good, beautiful Latina.
They're the best, man.
They really are.
Can't go wrong with that.
And that's kind of like was one of my intentions for spending time here is, I want to live where I'm treated well, but I also want to create a life and create a family that have good traditional values. And you see that a lot in South America.
Yeah.
And I do believe, and I want to break down what a belief is. A belief is not something that you know. A belief is, it's like when you believe in God, do you know that God exists?
I mean, objectively, no.
Objectively, no.
I have
You don't
faith.
have the physical. It's faith,
Faith, yeah.
and it's more of like a question. So I have a belief that, the U.S. is not gonna go in the right direction if we get our morals straight. So it's gonna take a certain group of people to get the morals straight.
Yeah.
So I love my country. It's a country that raised me, but I want to create really good foundation so my family, the Tri-Hub-Zach last name, can go on for generations with
Right.
good values.
Yeah.
And it's just challenges to find that. So I just love the values that are still here. It's interesting as well because people think like, oh, yeah, the U.S. has all this opportunity and all this money, which is great. Like we're very thankful for that, but it's everywhere as well. But what happens when you don't have values anymore? There's the old adage, and I feel like I've said it on this podcast so many times, where hard times make strong men make easy times make weak men.
Yeah.
And you can look at that in many different aspects as well, where the luxurious and relatively easy times in the US right now might even be making things a little bit easier. And that's why like all this crazy, like weird political shit is happening too.
Yeah.
It's because it's like, oh, life is so easy. So what do I care about? Oh, I care about bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, dude, I love that you said that, and I love that, especially one part, the part where you said that your last name, you wanted to go for generations and be known to be a last name that has people that has values, moral values, and that's really important, man. I mean, it's great to have the opportunity. I feel like you can make money from everywhere. I know the U.S. is an amazing country. I went to college in the U.S. Had my first job in the U.S. Super grateful. Always go visit there. Love that country. But you gotta be smart. You gotta be able to know what's good, what's bad, and differentiate it and take the good, leave the bad. And there's great things about the U.S. Great things about Bolivia, bad things in both places. But the most important thing is to be able to build that family, that legacy. I've talked with Sambo when I met with him in Rio. Dude, legacy. That's the main thing.
What was it?
Just build your legacy.
Legacy.
Yeah. Like we talked throughout the trip. It was like legacy. That's our main goal, and that stuck with me, man. Because nobody's gonna remember, and it's probably gonna sound a little cliche, but nobody's gonna remember if you had a Ferrari, a Lambo, or a fucking Volvo, man. But they're gonna remember how you treat them,
how you made them feel.
How you made them feel. So money. Let's say first generation doesn't make money. Second one doesn't make money. Third one makes money. And then fourth one doesn't make money. Like just let's say it does what you said. Strong people make easy times. They make a lot of money. Easy times make weak people. They lose the money.
Yeah.
So money flows in all directions. So you have money right now. You don't know if your grandkids are gonna have it. You don't know if your grandkids are gonna have it. They might lose fucking everything.
Yeah.
You're gonna be gone by then. But
probably is what they're gonna need as well.
So what is he gonna stock? Are they gonna be the same person with money or without? So that's why I feel like you need to build on the tangible stuff. Build great men, great women that are here to make a positive impact on people, on the world, and on everybody they love. That's something that's gonna last no matter what. That's something that nobody can take from you. So that's why it's so important. That's why I'm so big on that, because I know that the values that my dad and my mom gave me and the ones I'm gonna teach my kids, and it's gonna go on and on. Doesn't matter what the fuck happened, man. those values are gonna stay.
Yeah.
We can have a house now, we can have a maid, we can have a chauffeur, businesses, foundation, everything. If tomorrow we have nothing, nothing's gonna change within us.
Yeah. And that's back to what we're centered upon.
Yeah.
And that's such a beautiful thing to think about, because we all have heard the story of the millionaire who loses everything and then jumps off a bridge because he didn't have this centered,
Exactly.
didn't have values.
Because
Whole life.
money was his God.
Money was his God. Ferrari was his God.
Yeah.
And the way people looked at him because he had these things was his God. And I like how this comes full circle as well, of treating the maid how you treat the CEO. Doesn't matter where they're at. You treat everybody the same. And, you know, we've all seen that person that's really rich and treats other people like shit.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately, he might have some easy times, but that's also a part of the recipe of why these easy times are also going to make weak men.
Yeah.
Is because his children are seeing how he's treating other people. That's not gonna get by. You got to have ethics.
Yeah, dude, totally. And that's why you see so many times very successful people having their kids throw everything to the window, out of the window, because they see their parents like this almighty, powerful guys that nobody can touch them. Dude, if you're a 6-year-old and you see that, you're gonna grow up thinking that you're the same. And then you didn't see how much work you put in. You didn't see as a kid or as a teenager how many problems he overcame. You only see the surface.
Yeah.
So when it's your turn, and you think that you're this powerful, almighty person, and you come to reality, and everybody kick your ass, and you have thousands of people going for your job, going for your money, trying to get past you, you're not ready. So I don't know if I don't want to say it's karma. I'll just say it's the circle of life.
Yeah.
You know. So again, and that's why I really wanted to mention the how I grew up and the opportunity I had of growing up with the foundation, because that gave me, that protected me from being like that. You know. So now, dude, taking the humility hat a little bit, I went to LA to a door knocking job. I mean, you've been here. I don't need to be out there knocking doors.
Yeah.
But I decided to, because I knew I needed to first have a job for myself, that I earned it, that I got it. Second, that job was going to help me meet new people with great values, love the culture. When I looked into the company we worked at, which Better Earth, and at the same time going knocking doors, I knew it was going to help my character a lot.
Yeah.
It was going to help me so much.
Not to mention, you were one of the hardest workers.
Appreciate it, man.
Really, with having maybe like all this abundance and luxury, and maybe, I don't want to say ease, but there's some serious values that were instilled in you at a young age to come and to have that work ethic.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, when I met you, dude from Bolivia, my initial thought, and just maybe how most Americans would think, is like, this dude probably had a crazy upbringing, was probably challenging, just because this is how Americans think.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, damn, Bolivia? Where the fuck is that? Africa?
Dude, I've had that joke. We'll go to some jokes that guys from the company told me. But yeah, I mean, it's true, man. It is true. And yeah, because of the way I grew up, because of my everything I had in terms of the opportunity of seeing different situations, I always knew, and from school to everything. You know, I played golf too at a high level, played college golf. It was always in me and very embedded from my parents to me that I had to work hard. Nothing's granted. Like, we will have all these things, but my parents will make sure that I understand two things: that everything that they made was gonna be for my sister and myself. So if I'm doing wrong decisions when I'm 10, when I'm 15, or when I'm 22 or whatever, I'm actually hurting myself. People think, let's say, you see your parents that have ton shit of money, and you make stupid choices, you don't work hard, and you think that money's always gonna flow. Dude, your parents already made it. They're already living the life. Everything that's left is gonna be for you. So everything you're doing wrong, it's literally you're hurting yourself. You're hurting your future self. So if I didn't work hard, if I didn't understand what it takes to make a buck, if I didn't understand that nothing is I should never take something for granted, that nothing is really easy, I'll probably be on a beach in Spain, spending money, thinking that it's never gonna end, and I'll wake up one day 35 with nothing.
Yeah.
And that they made sure they never hide from me that we were well off, but they always make sure I understand that all my decisions are hurting my future self. They always told me, "We already made it. We're 50 years old. You already have a car. You already have a house. You already bought all that. You already went on trips. You have 60 years, 70 years left, 80 years left. So make sure you live those 80 years right." And that plus the fact that they always make me work hard for anything. Dude, I wanted a PlayStation when I was 15. All right, get your grades up. Win that golf tournament. Don't get don't be bad at school. Whatever it was, I always had to earn the things. I never got something like, "Hey, I want those pair of shoes at $300."
Wow. And this goes back to it seems like, because parents who have money can get lazy.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, just give them it.
Yeah,
We're not even going to notice it leave the account.
Yeah, it's whatever. Just $100. Just let the kid have it.
I see this a lot nowadays, but with kind of a different avenue, whereas in parents are so easily to give their kids distractions via the laptop, the phone, social media, because it quiets them down and gets them to stop kind of pulling on them. But it takes a high level of like maturity and understanding that your kid is going to live another 60 to 70 years.
Yeah.
How do you want them to live?
Exactly.
Because it comes down to how you're planting those seeds into them at a young age. So it sounds like your parents were very not lazy.
Yeah, not at all. Believe me.
And that's really impressive.
And that's something that I hope everybody that's listening actually thinks about. Let's say 30 years from now or 20 years from now, we're 50, 60, whatever, and then we have kids. Dude, at that point, how many years left you have? 20, 30. Let's say you live until 80, 20 years, 30 years. Your kids are probably going to be, I don't know, 15, 20. They have 50 years left. So it's so important to understand that, even from a young age, like we are right now, that, and I go back to giving. If you're always thinking about not only yourself, but the people that you care, that thought is going to cross your mind.
Yeah.
If you don't actually care about them, and you're only thinking about you, dude, you're not gonna even think that they have 60 years left and you're only 20. You're gonna be like, yeah, I wanna show them how much money I have. Buy them 2 pairs. There you go, kid. You're gonna feel good about yourself. Your kid is gonna be like, "Oh, my dad is amazing. My mom's great. Dude, we're the best." Dude, 15 years from now, you're gonna be dead. Your kid has to live in this world for 50 more years.
Wow. And it's very, I don't know the word, but it's very, it only lasts a little while.
Yeah.
That happiness, that joy of when things come so easily to them. But when they have to earn it. I had a similar experience when I was younger. I really wanted a 4-wheeler, ATV.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
And man, every Christmas, I'd want one. And I had to earn it. My dad didn't, he eventually got me one. but it took, I think, like a good 7 years. Like I was probably 15, 16 years old when I finally got one, but I wanted one when I was a kid. I used to go on the computer and I'd go to the website and design my outfit
Oh, yeah.
and all this, just like was crazy
It's
about
amazing.
it. And it took me a while. I had to really earn it and prove to my dad that like I earned it and I was kind of worth having it as a kid. Because if you would just gave it to me, I mean, my dad's a very smart man. He knows that
Oh, I'm sure, man. I mean, I know you, so
it would have been fleeting. That's a word I was looking for. And I see this happen a lot where things are fleeting, where you get the nice Porsche, but it's fleeting. The excitement lasts 30 like a year, and then it's like, oh, I just have it. I don't even have gratitude for it anymore. And I actually was I finished meditating. I was at the tennis club this morning, and I was kind of just visualizing the kids in this place. It's a beautiful gym here, and it's kind of where a lot of the rich kids are. And I could see like some of these kids are just like in La La Land a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't realize like how special it is that they're actually at this place. And I see this in the U.S. a lot. It's like, wow. And, maybe this is just from visualizing. Maybe it's different, and maybe I could get it wrong sometimes, but it takes understanding what's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Because to have this club and to be a part of this and have access to all this, I even have to sit down and like, man, am I grateful to like be able to even be a part of this?
Yeah, I do it every time.
And just show up and have gratitude. I think that's one way that we can really express these values and these principles that you're talking about is no matter where you are, what you have, even a meal. Sometimes I miss, but every meal I try and say thank you.
Yeah.
Just a minute of 30 seconds. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, God,
Yeah.
for this food on my plate.
Totally.
Because there's been times where, I mean, when I first moved to LA, I didn't know if I was going to be able to eat.
Which I bet if you look back, it was a very helpful experience. You know? I bet it was.
And the cool thing is, it always worked out.
Yeah.
Which is really beautiful.
Yeah. When you have just going back again, and then I told you guys, everyone that's listening, I'm always going to go back to this. If you have the right principles, right priorities, dude, everything's going to come to you. You should never be chasing something.
So valuable.
Shouldn't be chasing money, shouldn't be chasing a girl, shouldn't be chasing a job. And I don't want this to be misunderstood. That doesn't mean you're going to be lazy. You got to work your ass off. But you got to know why are you doing it and what's the reason, your motivation, everything. And it can be sometimes, hey, I want to work hard because I want to, I don't know, buy a car. It can be that. It's fine. But the main thing has to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
Like getting a car should be a short-term goal, you know? Building a legacy should be like the main goal.
Yeah.
So have that straight and everything's going to flow to you. You shouldn't be chasing anything. Yeah, man. I mean, I will recommend Bolivia too. And going back to that, it just came to my mind. Besides the spectacular places that you can visit, that you're going to share.
Yeah, we're going to be showcasing soon.
And everybody's going to see how beautiful the country is. We actually did the Death Road, and we're going to go to the Salt Flats, and we're going to climb a huge mountain. But besides all of that, coming to countries like this helps you see what I was so fortunate to see from a young age. Dude, you can see as a kid on the street, and it's funny, you said it. You see people on the streets here at least doing something to get money.
Yeah.
They're not just, I mean, and they at least wash their face. They get some clothes as best as they can. They either dance, they, I don't know, clown, they do what? Something. Where in other places, they're just, probably super high on something and clothes is ripped and they're just begging for money. And man, you come here, you see these people on the lights dancing or doing something for all the cars are stopped to get the money. Do you see them with a smile?
A smile expressing a unique talent.
Yeah. And you see that with, kids helping their moms with selling stuff, selling candy. And you won't get that anywhere else. See this happiness, this pureness, this heart that is full with so few, so less, so few things, that's gonna make you think, and it's gonna change everything in your head.
Changed a lot in your heart too.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna open your heart. It's gonna help you see things from a different angle. Uh, every time I feel like there's a weight on my shoulders, I go to the foundation to see these kids.
Wow. I'm really excited to do that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to finish with that. Can you kind of explain to us, like, your mom was 16 or 18 years old
18,
when she started this foundation. Can you tell us that story that you told
Yeah,
me?
100%. So, my mom was 18. She was a civil engineering student in Bolivia, um, and she had a class. I don't know which class was it. And close to the main entrance of the university, there was a statue which had like a hole underneath it. And children from ages 3 to 12 will go into this hole under the statue to sleep at night because La Paz gets cold at night. So they will like look for shelter. And early morning, 7 a.m., the police or the guard of the university will go and actually throw water at them so they can get out of the statue because it's a public slash private place. And my mom was walking to class one day uh, and saw the kids run from this statue, from underneath the statue. And she saw one kid stay there. And this just moved her heart enormously. She actually went to the kid, asked for his name. His name was Joaquin. They started talking. She kind of asked him, "Hey, do you live here? What do you do during the day? Where are your parents?" And he shared his story with my mom. He told her that he ran away from their parents because their parents abused him. Dad was an alcoholic. They will hit him, and then he ran to the streets hoping for a better place, for a better future, which is, dude, crazy to think about. At that point, my mom made the decision to um, take him home. So there's this 18-year-old girl that takes this kid, shows up to my grandparents' house, and she's gonna live here in our house for a little bit. We're gonna give him clothes, we're gonna give him food, and we're gonna try to find him education.
Wow.
And my grandparents, they welcomed him with open arms.
Wow.
They were like, all right. She explained the situation, and they were like, all right, we're gonna do this. And that's how the story it started with one kid, and then she will share with him, and she will ask him, so where are all these kids? Where do they live? And she will go. My mom, the bravest woman I know, she will go at 18, 19 years old, alone with Joaquin, this kid, to these dangerous places all over the city at night, where all these kids will sleep on the trees. They will so they will climb up the trees and sleep on the trees, so the police didn't see them. And it was in the most dangerous places because the biggest enemy was the police. The police will like throw them out to somewhere else, and they will have nowhere to sleep. She will go there with a soccer ball and ask them to play. So she will play soccer with them at 2 a.m. in the morning until like 3, 4, kind of get to know more and more kids. And she will go to different places, meet as much kids as she can. And then there were enough kids that wanted a life like Joaquin was given. And she actually rented the first house for the foundation and had the first 15 kids living there. And my grandparents and my mom, they gave them food, education, everything. After that, actually, the name of the foundation, which is Alalay, was named by the children. It means I'm cold.
Wow.
In the national.
Can you say it slowly?
Alalay?
Alalay.
Yeah, it means cold in Aymara.
Aymara, so that's an indigenous language?
Yeah, so in their language, it means I feel cold.
So a lot of these children are indigenous children?
Yeah, most of them. I would say probably, yeah, most of them. And yeah, it started like that, and it started growing. From one house went to 2 houses, to 3 houses, to 2 cities, 3 cities. And now it's helping hundreds of children every year, thousands throughout the 35 years. We actually, this year is the anniversary. I told you about the anniversary, 35-year anniversary of the foundation. Yeah, I mean, it's been growing. It's been growing a lot, and she's been able to help. Man, I mean, I don't even know how many, but if I had to guess, I would say more than 50,000 children that were living on the streets, and throughout the years they were able to, have clothes, food, and education. Joaquin, the first kid, she's actually a physical education teacher at a school now.
In Bolivia?
Yeah, in Bolivia. And another kid plays at the opera in Austria. Another one is a Michelin star chef. Yeah. So that also makes you think, man. Sometimes you only need one person to give you the opportunity and the tools to be great.
Wow. When you think of something echoing in eternity, I really like that. I don't know why that just came to me right now, but this is something that's echoing in eternity what your mother did.
Totally.
And you can see it when you meet your mom. I mean, whenever I see your mom, I feel like lit up with energy and love.
Yeah.
She's just a really amazing woman. And when I think of this Michelin star chef, when I think of this guy in the opera in Austria, when I think of Joaquin, they all have stories though, and these stories are relatable. And I hope, and I'm sure they're sharing their stories.
Yeah.
And it's motivating more good in the world. So yes, 50,000 is a huge number, but when you actually dissect that, that's millions and millions and millions.
Yeah, because each and every one of them, they're so grateful about the opportunity that they were given, and they're people that I mean, I talk to them and they give back so much. Wow. So yeah, you're actually right. It's like you help one person, just because of you, that person's gonna help probably three more. And that's gonna make a domino effect, man.
And these people, like Joaquin, for an example, has such a value system, I would assume now, because he knows what it's like to be at the bare bottom.
Yeah.
Sleeping under a rock and having the police throw water at him in the morning to wake him up and get him away from this rock, getting beat by his family. It's wow. It's crazy. How can our listeners here help out? Like, how can we donate as a community?
Oh man, appreciate it. Let's. I'll send you. We're gonna prepare there's a website, and we can also tag the foundation on the description of the podcast. All the details are gonna be there.
Yeah, we'll put it all in. We'll have your Instagram, everything. We'll have the foundation's Instagram, and then a link to support, because I know a lot of people that follow me, like a lot of what I teach about in DreamState is around the law of giving and receiving. And you said it earlier, right? It always comes back.
Yeah.
It'll always come back. So, I recommend people to tithe, to give to things that you believe in. And if you didn't get the chills, I don't know if your heart's beating. Because as you were speaking, I got the chills like 7 different times.
Dude, I almost started crying. I had to hold up a little bit.
It's just, I mean, man, I almost started crying too. And your mom said to me recently, we're going to go see the foundation soon. And I know we've been wanting to do it. So I look forward to getting some videos there so we can share with the community. And I wanted to use this opportunity as like a little bit of a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing in 2026. So as you guys know who follow the DreamState community, I run masterminds all around the world. And I've loved it so much here. And Nico and his mom actually brought up an idea of why doesn't Ethan do a retreat here? So we're already starting to plan DreamState Q1 of 2026. It's going to be in Bolivia. So
let's go.
That'll be a great way. And I'm looking forward to even supporting the community with my community, helping out with your mom's foundation while we're here.
Thank you, man.
But to give a little sneak peek to the listeners, what is a taste of what we're going to be doing?
Oh, man. So
I know we're going to be adding to it, so don't hold us accountable now. We might remove and we might add from what Nico will say, but
first of all, main thing is for you to have the full experience. So the thing you're gonna get here to the airport, everything's gonna set up. It's gonna be set. You're gonna get picked up from the airport. Probably gonna have a nice hotel for you guys, waiting for you guys. After that, we're gonna see the Lake Titicaca. You can look it up. It's the highest sea in the world. Probably sleep one night at it's Isla del Sol, which is Sun Isle. Beautiful place, ton shade of energy. After that, we're gonna go to the Salt Flats. Also Google that. Salt Flats in Bolivia is the biggest lithium reserve in the world. It's beautiful. Look at the images, Google it. You're just gonna drop 100%. That's the main dish for now. In between, we're definitely gonna have some different adventures as we did the Death Road, and we're gonna be planning this. But we have the structure already. Well, Ethan has it. Just with my mom, we gave him the idea. We're showing him around, making sure which I believe is important, that you're gonna leave the experience first.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I've really done with every DreamState retreat.
Exactly. So yeah, the foundation is there. Probably gonna have the video a couple of weeks from now. You guys gonna be able, besides from Google and everything, gonna be able to see it from a first plane. And man, just main thing, take Ethan's word. You gotta come to Bolivia. You gotta come here. And going back to you guys helping the foundation financially, love it, appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, from my mom. But another great way to help us is to come here and stay a couple of days at the foundation, share with the kids, teach them, just help them enjoy every single day.
Wow. And that's going to be such a beautiful part of that retreat.
Yeah.
Is getting, I got the chills when you said that again. It's just getting the people together.
Yeah.
And it's one thing I really try and do, like at the Machu Picchu, Gabriel, who is, he's creating like a nice community for kids in the Sacred Valley of Machu Picchu. So we're going to surprise him and help him with this. And it's just back to spiritual law. It's just helping and being in this. And one person, you that's listening, that's going to come in DreamState 2026, you're an American that's lived a completely different life. You're going to be an alien to these kids.
Yeah.
And your energy and your story, communicating with them, maybe you speak Spanish, maybe you don't.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's just the energy.
Yeah.
And you seeing them is going to change your life. I guarantee it.
Guarantee it. 100%.
And I can't wait to meet them myself. But Nico, it's been a freaking pleasure. We've been queuing this up for a few days now. I'm so grateful that we got it done.
Same, man.
I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart, just how you've been taking care of me here. And I just, I hope more people will come here and see this beautiful country, because it really is special. It's so special, I'm going to be buying myself an apartment here. But brother, much love, man.
Much love, man. It's an honor and happy to have you here. I know when I first saw you, dude, I told you 5 years been too long. Happy to have you here. Again, you're part of the family, and I'm glad it was actually just a week and now it's 2 months.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? We're just talking about you. Yeah, it's funny. We're just wrapping up the podcast, and now we get the special guest.
Yeah.
No,
Ven,
come.
Ven aquí, dale.
We were just telling everybody about the foundation
Alalay.
and everything, and we're just we're excited to.
Can say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
We're excited to bring all the DreamState people here next year and show them this beautiful thing that you've created and this beautiful country and just everything.
Same.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry for my English, but yes.
Exactly.
Tu inglés es muy bien.
You good?
We'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.